As the smoke rises on a cold winter day here in Annapolis, we're reminded of the beauty that exists and has been here in continuous use since 1772. But today our focus was on all the hustle and bustle, and all we really needed was a camera bag with a camera inside, of course, and the tripod being used by my videographer Trevor to capture all the action and get the 7 interviews we needed to tell the story.
We're back, baby.
Yes. Maryland's lawmakers are back for the 2018 legislative session.
There's a lot of pomp and circumstance, but that's a lot of government, you know. There's a tradition, and this is a great tradition.
And they are ready for the new year, a year that could go down in the history books.
Every year's historic year, brother. I'm blessed to be here, man. And so every year for me is historic. And, you know, it's the opportunity to help do something to make life better for us on the Lower Shore.
On the agenda early, a new sick leave measure introduced by Governor Larry Hogan, who is trying to avoid a veto override of last year's bill.
It has 29 votes. There's 29 votes required to either override the governor's veto, so we're right at that threshold. I'm continuing to work, but I've already done a great bit of compromise, so I'm looking out for our business community, but also for working families, men and women that need that support.
Paid sick leave is a good policy. However, what we've put together and what's been put on his desk is a one-size-fits-all, government-heavy mandate, and it's not going to benefit the workers the way it's supposed to, and it's going to hurt business.
Lawmakers must also confront the challenges presented by the federal tax bill.
With the changes at the federal level, it means that there is going to be more money back to the states. And then the fight will be over how that money is used. Do you put it into existing programs, or are you giving it back to the people of Maryland?
We're going to look at it real close, see what the options are, but I applaud both the governor and the General Assembly to come up with a good compromise in all these matters.
And like they do every year, our legislators need to work for the Eastern Shore to make sure our voices are heard regardless of our size or influence.
But I have some concerns. We have some bills that really are going to hurt employers here on the Eastern Shore, and we've got to fight to help balance what needs to be done for the Eastern Shore constituents.
I also would like to encourage our constituents to stay in touch with us throughout the session. If they have time to come to Annapolis, great, but if they don't, and we certainly understand that, if they shoot us an email or give us a call, it really helps us to take stronger positions for the shore when we hear directly from our constituents.
The governor and our area lawmakers had plenty to talk about today. We'll have more from them. Plus, we have a full interview with Governor Larry Hogan that you can check out during the news hour. In the meantime, if you want to find anything, it's been posted on our Facebook and Twitter pages. In Annapolis, I'm Ryan Eldridge, 47 ABC. Julian, back to you.
3, 2, 1.
The Cygnus cargo spacecraft on the Antares rocket blasting off from Wallops Island. Next stop, the International Space Station. It's the 8th resupply mission by Orbital ATK, one of NASA's chief suppliers. The 6-man crew on the ISS expecting 7,000 pounds of cargo and science experiments.
The astronauts aboard the International Space Station are looking forward to the equipment, the cargo, the supplies, the food that we're giving them, but it also gives them an opportunity to take a look at the science experiments that we're delivering.
And Ops 2, initialize ground ordnance power supplies.
But that spacecraft was almost a no-go. The first attempt was scrubbed due to an aircraft appearing 1 minute out before launch. Even Sunday, NASA taking extra precaution.
It's such an exciting day, but it was a close call. Right before 7:14, boats were seen in the area, pushing that time to 7:19 to launch. But it didn't stop it from going off.
It looks like the Coast Guard got to them and they weren't in the hazard zone, but I think it was just being extra careful.
These aircrafts have specific time windows to launch in. It's carefully synchronized with the International Space Station.
It will be at T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds on my mark.
Particular route, a particular orbit. So in this particular case, it was a 5-minute launch window that we really had to hold to, but went right to the end of it and it was fine.
The launch creating an out-of-world experience for bystanders, but most importantly, it's finally making its way to the ISS.
Everything went off as planned. The rocket separated at the right time. Cygnus, the spacecraft that was inside the rocket, is now on its way to the International Space Station.
Justina Cornell, 47 ABC.
So when we designed the space, we deliberately wanted it to be a place where students came with their game face on.
But this isn't a game. Students are put in real-life situations with simulations at Salisbury University's Medical Sim Center. These rooms mirror an everyday hospital.
And then each of the rooms is designed so that everything works. Real oxygen, real suction, real phones, real monitors, everything is real.
Their program has grown ever since opening in 2011.
We started with one simulator, a child, and then little by little added additional members to our family. So we now have 2 newborns, a birthing simulator.
They're known as human patient simulations, designed to look and respond just like human beings.
Because we can dial up whatever condition we want. As opposed to the real world, we have to wait for it to kind of happen.
And with one click, you can change the patient's physiology. So right now we're clicking for the patient to become cyanotic.
So having us being able to control that kind of learning just has given the students a much wider array of exposure.
Besides the expansion of their simulator family, they've also extended their learning space.
With our new space, next door expanded the areas for debriefing, which is essentially talking about what happened in the scenario, what you did well, what you need to work on, and watching others so you don't make the same mistakes they do.
The center gives students the opportunity to grasp scenarios now in order for them to nurse situations better in the future.
Students and, again, other licensed health professionals can learn, hear, make mistakes, so that in the real world they will be much more proficient and confident in taking care of real people.
Justina Cornell, 47 ABC.
An early Christmas present for Delmarva in the form of more than a half a foot of white powder in some regions. The dense snow that began falling Friday afternoon making for perfect conditions for a day of sledding.
As soon as the kids wake up, they're bugging you. Dad, let's go sledding, let's go sledding.
And my dad used to take me here all the time to go sledding, but I had never taken him before.
Or snowball fights.
They're pelting each other with snowballs nonstop, so I don't think they hate it so far.
It's definitely a heavy snow. It's a good snowman, make it snow.
Right.
Definitely. Kids, hopefully they don't knock somebody's eye out with a snowball because it makes a hard one.
But the winter weather also bringing in hazardous conditions Friday evening for travelers.
As we were driving up, it got a little bit dicey as far as the rain and sleet and snow goes.
We went out to the mall last night. The roads were pretty rough.
Right.
But today they've done a good job on them. It looks they've turned out good this afternoon.
Salisbury officials say the snowy conditions caused 10 accidents on area roads.
Of those 10 accidents, one was very serious.
Route 50, Worcester Highway, John J. Williams Highway, and most major arteries on Delmarva completely clear Saturday morning, but with the thick snow triggered other issues for Salisbury and other surrounding areas.
This is a heavy, wet snow, so we saw snow pile up on trees. We've seen a lot of down limbs this morning. We've seen a lot of down limbs. We've seen some down power lines. We've seen it in our Camden and Smith Street neighborhoods and in a few other small spots around the city.
Brandon Bossert, 47 ABC. Indian River School District is facing challenges this week following the loss of about a half dozen school bus drivers. But Superintendent Mark Steele says the district is working to reroute schedules to try and make everything work.
So it was like a bomb dropped.
A contractor informed Steele Tuesday he had lost 6 drivers since the start of the school year and was returning 4 contracts. Those routes will be vacated next Wednesday.
It's about 240 kids when we take a look at it on a normal scale of a day. Getting kids to and from school.
The district says it has a plan that won't have a big impact on student pickup and drop times. 4 bus routes will pick up 1 batch of students and drop them off to be supervised at the school while they make a second run.
We believe we can do that, Brandon, with little to no inconvenience to parents.
The district has been recruiting new drivers since the spring. William Clark, a driver with the district for 48 years, says a boost in pay would be a proper way to inject fresh blood.
I think some changes need to be made.
Specifically?
Getting some money for these bus contractors. we've been working with the same formula for years.
Steele says the district has no control over money awarded to contractors, that a state formula determines the pay.
If it were up to me, I'd gladly say, let's do what we need to do, to make this a more appeasing job.
Steele says that there is a specific group of people who have the type of schedule needed for driving hours, but believes that they can get the voids filled within the coming months.
And if you're interested in being a bus driver with Indian River School District, just contact Tyler Bryan, the transportation analyst. Brandon Bossert, 47 ABC.
This isn't your normal soccer game. This is Bubble Soccer, Ocean City Parks and Recreation, kicking off a brand new idea through a simple bubble.
So you're playing soccer with a big plastic bubble of air around you, and it goes from above your head to around your thighs or knee. Very safe.
This idea sparked last year, but now it's expanding.
It has been an adult program, and we still have it as an adult program, but are opening it up now to middle school age and up.
Their main goal? Instilling a fun and unique exercise.
Bubble soccer is just one innovative way to get kids active.
We get together annually, more than annually probably, and discuss new things to try to get the community and the public visitors to the town involved up here.
The games may just be 20 minutes long, but it's definitely a workout benefiting you long term.
Well, you get a very good workout in this bubble, so it is a good way to get your cardiovascular going, and you're using muscles that you've probably not used in a while if you haven't been out there in a while.
I even played a bit, and trust me, just 5 minutes in, I was breaking a sweat.
It's completely different. It's more non-competitive compared to other sports, more fun compared to some more competitive sports we offer. Definitely, it's contact, so you can hit the other person's going for the ball only. That makes it a different element to the game.
This new trend, hoping to change up the game. Justina Cornell, 47 ABC.
Okay.
Out of bounds, point to the Hawks.
The Hoops team on display, volleyball center stage. This is Hawk Hysteria, and this is a big night for UMES.
This is the second largest crowd of our season next to homecoming, and so we invite the community to come on out because we want to grow our program from the community inside out.
We not just have basketball, but we have the fraternities, the sororities, we have the dance groups, we have the band, so it's really exciting.
The event has been happening annually for decades. Once named Midnight Madness, it has become a way to showcase the men's and women's hoop squads for the community and to generate buzz before tip-off to the regular season.
It's an opportunity for them to go out and showboat a little bit, and this is going to be one of the only time I'm going to allow them to do this. But, I want the student body to see that these kids work hard and they have good talent, and we're going to introduce it not just to our student body, but to the community.
The crowds that show up to Hawk Hysteria also help the teams prepare for the big games later in the season.
It just prepares us for the big games. Last season we went up against Maryland, so it just prepared us for that, and other gyms that's usually crowded, it just prepares us for that.
And the players see the buzz that's created when they walk around campus in the days following.
Yes, we have a lot of students come up to us after the game saying that they really recognize how good we are and they can't wait to see us play this year.
Brandon Bossert, 47 ABC.
With winter right around the corner and bringing with it that Arctic air, now is the time to make sure that your home is prepared.
Emergency services officials say they see two big hazards in winter. One is house fires caused by chimneys and furnaces.
There has a tendency to be creatures, I'll just call them creatures, either birds or other types of animals that nest in chimneys. Heat rises up the flue of the chimney and sets the debris that's in the chimney on fire, and then you wind up with it causing a house fire.
And the other big concern is making sure your pipes are insulated.
You'll find that pipes will crack and then flood crawl spaces or basements.
A quick tip to avoid broken pipes is to leave your faucets dripping overnight. And besides keeping your home safe, winterizing can also help keep your wallet safe.
People can save a lot of money. They don't have to run their heat as much if they make sure that the insulation around their windows and their doorways is good.
One of the keys to helping you save money are your windows and doors. Inexpensive solutions can mean big savings.
And there are any number of foam type appliances that will go on the bottom of a door, up the edge of the door to help block out the cold air from coming in through the door.
And to reduce the use on your heater this winter, try wearing extra layers indoors. Brandon Bossert, 47 ABC.